We're live. Hello, everyone. Today is September 5th, 2021. I'm here with Troy Spoon, aka the music producer Spooning. Thanks for coming on the podcast, Spooning.
Pleasure. Thank you.
So, how has being a music producer been for you?
Quite a ride. A lot of learning. A steep learning curve at the beginning for sure. Just figuring out the basics, but now that I'm this deep into it, it's super enjoyable. I feel like I can make what I'm trying to think of. You know what I mean?
That's awesome. What was that learn? What did you have to learn during that learning curve?
Well, I mean, at the beginning, you're just learning the program. Like for me, I'm just a computer guy, so it was pretty easy to pick up the program. The next, figuring out, oh, music theory. How do I arrange a song? How do I make a chord progression? All that stuff, the fundamentals per se, probably is the biggest part of it. After that, you just have fun, you know.
The fundamentals of music.
Yes, which I will say, like, you don't necessarily need to know it all, but you should have a general sense, because you at least have to have an ear for what's musical, you know.
Yeah. How did you gain that ear?
It's natural. No, no. I'm honestly listening to a lot of music just growing up. Like you develop your own ear. Like your ear may be different than my ear. Someone else's ear may be different. It's just based on what they're hearing, what they think sounds good. So, that's where a music producer is really cool because it comes down to, oh, this is what I think sounds good. There's probably other people that thinks this sounds good too. You know.
Yes. And you just produced a song recently. What was that song called?
My last release song was Night Vision.
Yes,
Uh,
that was great production on that song.
oh yeah, no, I can't wait to release more.
Oh, nice. Are you planning on releasing more soon?
I mean, I have so many tracks that are like basically finished. I'm getting some vocalists on a few. Like I was working on one before you called, this remix that's due in a couple days. So yeah, lots
What
of
make
going on.
what makes it do?
Well, this one's for a remix contest,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, maybe a month ago I started looking into a lot more remix contests, and there was a bunch popping up with really good vocalists on them, or at least a vocal that I liked anyway. And if I can get a free vocal to make a song around, that makes it a thousand times easier. I already have the bass. Now I can throw it together. Like I put this song together maybe 3 days ago, and it's basically done. 4 days ago.
Nice. And that way you can get a lot of production out too quicker than doing
Yeah.
it yourself from scratch.
Well, yeah, and the ones with vocalists, like I didn't know until I did that Night Vision song, but when you're working with someone else, like a vocalist, it adds a lot more time into the mix. Like there's a lot of waiting, going back and forth, getting it just right. And, a remix, you already have the pieces. You just got to put them in a different position and make it sound your way.
Okay. But when you're producing with a vocalist, there's a lot more
Yeah.
work that goes into the production.
Add a year almost to any song that's like if you have it finished and then the vocalist is hit up and you start talking, there's like I mean that song was done for almost a year. And like
Wow.
it there was some like slight little tweaks and stuff after the vocal got done, but for the most part it was just waiting.
Waiting for to realign the music with the vocalist.
Well, there's a little back and forth on lyric choice and the beginning, just the initial idea. And then once you kind of had that done, it was just waiting for the final versions, getting those final versions into the song. And then like for me, I'm doing it all myself for the most part. So I had to make a video and like all the social media stuff behind it. And
Yeah.
if you don't have a team, that adds a lot of time just to one release.
Yeah. A team would be super helpful. I know that too from this podcast, like the production and then just releasing it and just doing it consistently. That takes time and effort.
Oh yeah.
I'd love to contract that out or something, but that's not cheap.
Yeah, well, you either contract like someone professional, or you're lucky enough to have a group of people around you that are all doing like the exact perfect yin yang thing to what you're doing, which is very difficult, especially now with
Yeah.
finding new people that are going to fill those blanks that are, really just along to help you and are willing to support you and want to share that project as opposed to pay me this much money.
Yes, that's much harder to find now. And with COVID and everything, it's like there's not a place to go. Like I feel like Silicon Valley would be a lot easier somewhere like there where it's like a bunch of smart people in a small area. I don't want to go there, but
Honestly, I will say most of my success in meeting like new people that are like-minded with music anyway has been through the internet. To be honest, like I've met a couple of like really good friends of mine now that make music through Instagram, like through my wife. My wife randomly found this artist and was like, "Oh wow, this guy's so cool! Check this out!" and linked us up because I make music, and from there now we're good friends. And he's killing it. He does his own visuals, and he's like a machine compared to me. So hopefully I can kind of get a little bit of that mojo and start doing that too.
night you met him on the internet.
Yeah, yeah, through Instagram.
Wow. And you reached out to him and then he replied.
My wife originally was talking to him and was just saying like, "Oh, I love your music," and like basically she was like his number one fan or whatever because he was really recently started this brand, and she was super supportive. Told them about me, and then told me about him. Basically, matchmaked us.
Nice.
um,
And now you're good friends producing music together.
Yep, yep. And he's just right now, he's just like a it's very hard to find like 100% people that want your they want what's best for you most of the time. Most people
Yeah.
are looking out for themselves, and
Yeah.
it's a dime a dozen when someone's like also looking out for you. So that's how I feel with this.
Nice. That's a good feeling to have. Have you ever met this person?
We talked for maybe 6 to 8 months and just like sent music to each other. And then he came down, I met him. And since then, we've hung out maybe like 3 or 4 times in person, maybe 5 times. And yeah, we just stay in contact, every week or so.
That's nice. It's kind of crazy, these new types of friendships that can. Did you play WoW ever?
Briefly. I played on a private server though, so it wasn't.
Uh, It wasn't okay, what I'm thinking of. Because what I was going to relate back to is like the only other times I can think of like that is like these massive multiplayer games where
Oh,
people get together and form friendships across like the country
oh yeah.
with kids they've never met.
I got a friend in Egypt from Discord. Like we randomly ran into him on a Call of Duty Discord, and since then he like joined our channel and like talks with us. He's like an 18-year-old kid in Egypt, and it's just fun how
Wow.
connected everybody is, and you can just get along with anyone because you're online. Nobody's really out afraid of what you think, so it's kind of cool.
Nobody's what?
Nobody's really afraid of what others think because they're an online person that has a fake
Yes.
username. So worst case, they don't like you, so people are a little more no filter on there.
Yes, they are a lot more. On the internet, a lot less filtering.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. And so you said you're more of a programmer and that was the side that you felt more comfortable with.
Well, I mean, as far as like music production goes, like I can't play the guitar. I played the trumpet when I was in elementary school, and that's about it. But all through growing up, I've just been like a tech nerd that just knows how to use a computer, can figure out an app, and I found Ableton for making music. Well, I actually found Fruity Loops first, but I found an app I could use to make music. And originally, I was a rapper, right? I mean,
Yes,
that right back in the day.
I remember that. What was that? T
Yeah,
Mac?
Teaspoon.
Teaspoon, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Teaspoon started doing his rap thing, trying to do that, and then I was like, I got to make my own beats, and it kind of
Yes.
from there. And now I'm into electronic music, and yeah,
That's where
definitely.
the scene is, for
Yeah,
sure.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it's hype. It's so much more hype than a lot of other music out there. So a lot of energy,
what do you what do you mean hype?
like tons of energy in it, and like
Yes.
you can't. you don't get the same energy out of a pop song or anything
No,
because
rap song, especially live. Live is where I think EDM just goes above and beyond everything.
isn't that so funny? Because that's the only music that's like not actually live, but
Yes.
sounds the coolest live because that's the
Yeah,
goal of it, to just like mind blow you, you know?
exactly. Just mind blow you with perfect like you said, whatever this music theory is, it's like these they're using that with these beats to like just get your network going and just boom, boom, boom.
You'd be surprised how many now that are released that are like not really musically correct, but it's all about the sound design now. Like literally people will if you looked at a song in like dubstep nowadays, a lot of times there's like it's like one note technically the whole time, but they're doing different effects and movements and stuff and they make this song. And it's easy to follow because it's just one note the whole time and everybody loves it. And it's so funny to me that you can accomplish something that great and have everybody super happy, but you have no idea how to make the melody around it. It didn't even matter, you know?
Yes, that is really interesting. It's one note that
There's a lot of
they
one music nowadays, you know.
wow, that is incredible. And then what types of effects do they add to that note, like for a dubstep song?
I mean, there's just heavy distortion and saturation and honestly, they're the best kind is where they're doing something you would never even think of, like, oh, they put a vocoder or some plugin that's meant for vocals or something totally different on something, and they discovered some weird sound. Those are like the successful people in dubstep right now.
Got it. Is
Secret
that the
formula.
type? What was that?
Sorry, it was a secret formula. You come up with like your own.
Got it. And then it forms this sound, and then until someone else figures it out too, you've pretty much got the sound.
Right, right. You
But I mean,
pioneered your own sound.
pioneered. Someone's going to figure it out how to do it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous online. These people will like dissect your project and be like, "Oh, he just did this," and literally demonstrate how you did it. And you're like, "Okay, well, I guess I got to do something else now." So,
Wow.
uh,
What was this app that you said you use?
for making music, I use Ableton.
Ableton?
Yeah.
How is that?
Well, it's like to me, it reminds me of like Windows Explorer, but music producer because just the way the foldering works and the way I can control find, you know, it works very much like a Windows. So to me, it was just super easy to get used to. And yeah, you use it for arranging a song, making the sounds, everything from beginning to end, pretty much.
Wow. And that's the only software you use?
Well, there's plugins in it, but that's the only software I need for the music side. Um, yeah, audio wise, I don't really take it externally. Like I put into video programs after, but yeah.
Which video programs?
I'm on Premiere right now,
Yeah,
um,
me too.
and a little bit of After Effects if I just need like a certain scene or something.
Oh, and what's After Effects? Is that a Adobe product?
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's for making scenes. That's what think of it as, like a 3D scene. You get the ability to like control your camera and all that stuff. So
Okay.
3D title that you see at the beginning of someone's video, it's like all epic. It's probably After Effects or something similar, you know?
Got it. Got it. What do you think about Premiere?
I mean, the the only reason I use Premiere is because I used to be super into Final Cut Pro, like way back when Final Cut Pro didn't look like iMovie. Now it looks all fancy and I hate it, but back when it didn't, it looked just like Adobe Premiere and like the way it works and the function of it. So I'm stuck on Adobe Premiere now because I'm on Windows and it's all I got that's like my old stuff. You know what I mean?
Yes. There's really not that great a product for Windows. And do you subscribe to it?
Um, I declined to answer that question.
All right. All right. It's a good, I like it though. It's fairly easy to use.
I bought it at one point, like a version of it, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, Yeah, I mean, compared to iMovie, like if you don't have a MacBook, then like you,
I'm
I
on Mac.
can find enough.
I
What?
hate I hate iMovie. I
Really? What's the reason?
well, I mean, the old version was worse. It's a little better now. Like the old version was just like the Windows Movie Maker of Mac, and now they've kind of souped it up a little, and it's a little more like Final Cut Pro is now. But the way like I can move clips and snap them together in Premiere is so much easier to me. Like you can float them somewhere. You don't have to like
Yeah,
snap them right on the end. It makes
yeah.
more sense in Premiere for me.
Premiere's, yeah, I know what you mean. Is, was it slow for you, iMovie, or that might have just been my computer?
Once you put enough clips in there, it gets a little slow sometimes, a little sluggish.
That's yeah. Maybe that was my workspace.
You're just doing way too much post production, man, over there. You're just
Dude, it was just the intro to the regular part. So in the transition in between, there wasn't much post production done.
you might have to check
But
it out then.
yeah, I got rid of that. That's gone now. I don't have a MacBook. I'm on the Windows game.
Welcome.
Well, how do you feel about it? Windows versus Mac?
I mean, I have both. I use Windows for like my desktop, my big machine. That's the fast one, and Mac. I honestly only use it because my work bought me a laptop for work, and it's pretty quick. It's stable. I'm partial because I'm from the old days where Windows was like for like the tech nerds, and Mac is like for the easy users, that want the simple version. So
Yes. It's like, yeah, I know. Uh, Windows is, what do you mean by that? Simple version versus like tech nerds.
well, one, Windows has more ways it can break.
More ways to what?
More ways it can break.
Yes.
Just the
More
way
hacker
it,
vulnerable.
like
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew, but on a Mac, like it probably just makes common sense. But like on a Mac, when an app crashes, like Finder crashes, all of your apps still stay open. But on a Windows, Explorer crashes, some other stuff breaks. Sometimes other apps also crash just because it's running inside of Windows versus a Mac is all like separate standalone apps. So it's a lot more stable for that reason. But there's a lot less available on a Mac than a Windows, like in general.
In what do you mean? Like apps or
Plugins, apps, yeah. I mean, if you counted them,
software?
there would probably be a million times more Windows total because it's just been around longer and it's easier to code for, I think.
And what more people use it still, like way more.
I mean, Macs are starting to get more and more used, but yeah, it's still big. It's gonna stay around. It's not going anywhere.
Mac or
Neither of
no,
but Mac's
neither
getting,
of them.
but Windows is always gonna be there. It's
Yeah.
so many things are running on it, and people aren't gonna take the time to switch off. That's the truth.
No, they're not. Even internationally too, it's like the cost of a Mac versus the cost of a Windows for every other
Oh yeah,
company in the world, it's like not even a question. They
right.
can't even afford Macs, most of them.
Yeah, just give them a Dell for $200.
Exactly. That's it. It's pretty interesting, the world of computer. You were into it very young. What did you do to get into it when you were a young guy?
Well, when I was like growing up, my dad was programmer at Toshiba. Like he worked on servers and stuff. So he's always been super into computers. And he built my computer with me when I was like 5, and we put all the pieces together. And from there, like I was the one that would like wake up super early in the morning to get on my computer and like either play games or do something on the computer. And I was excited to get home to go back to my computer. Um, and yeah, I mean, growing up, it was kind of like my best friend in a way. It sounds kind of sad now that I say it out loud, but
No, it's fine.
we
I
know each
mean, that
other
was
very well.
what was that?
Me and the
You
computer
got
know each other very well.
very well.
Mm.
Oh wow. Well, now you have a wife, so you have to part your time.
And we share, yeah.
Oh man. So you got into rapping, and then from there, that's when it. So high school, it wasn't about producing music. It was more about rapping,
A straight lyricist.
straight lyricist. And then eventually through through Saddleback.
All right. Here's the lowdown. From Teaspoon the rapper, went to Saddleback College, and he got the Pell Grant, so he got free money to go to college, and was like, "Well, I'm just gonna sign up for a bunch of music classes." And I like didn't sign up for any normal classes, and I just took the free money, and I learned a little bit about music. And turns out they were teaching a program that called Pro Tools that it's used in certain industries, but like in EDM, it's not really used because it's slow as far as workflow goes. Um, but it gave me like just a basic eye opening into productions, more technicals like frequencies and what kind of frequencies are different sounds, etc. Um, and yeah, I did that for a year, 2 semesters, and then left Saddleback. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna make my own beats because I can't just be making mixtapes forever because I was just rapping on other people's beats. And I'm
Yes.
like, I just got to make my own beats and I could, spit fire over that. And I found something called Fruity Loops, which is like, to me, it's a great beginner program to learn on. Not that like you can't use it and be super advanced with it and make great songs, but to learn as a beginner, just the way it's laid out, you get a what's called a step sequencer, which is literally like dots that you can click where you want this sound to trigger. Like, oh, when it hits this bar, play. So it's really easy to be like click, 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 click. Okay, I just made a little drum loop, you know, and you can get used to it really quickly. And I started there. Found out that there's this program Ableton that's so much faster and more accurate. And I picked it up once, hated it, put it down for a year, and then came back to it a year later
Wow.
and was like, okay, I'm seeing a lot of the uses, the reasons this is better for me, and actually took the time to learn it. It's again just that learning curve of, do you want to learn the app and take the time? And as long as you do, you get past that hump and then it's smooth sailing.
Yes, that's what you spoke about at the beginning, right? When you were saying like that learning curve of, you know, using Ableton to actually produce good music. That takes time.
Dude, just to figure out how to put a new track in was annoying to me. There was like, to create a clip, a MIDI clip, which is like essentially the notes of information. For some reason, it just took me so long to figure out how to do that. It was frustrating. When in my old program, it was like click, 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 and it was already done. But that's what stopped me at first, was like the simplest thing that I knew I could do so quick in another program made me not want to even learn this, because it's like, oh man, that feels like I'm wasting my time trying to figure this out. I already know it, you know?
Yes, that's a. I feel like that's going to be more of a recurring problem in the future too.
That's why you just
Like,
got to eat it and say, I'm going to do it anyway.
yes, yes, you didn't say you're going to do it anyway, because there's going to be like, before you stop producing music, there's going to be another tool that's better than Ableton, or Ableton's going to radically change.
Yeah, sure. But in the end, like, I don't know. I'm just trying to think what music production will be like in 20 years, because truthfully, like, I think we're just getting closer and closer to AI just making the music for you. At some point, you can't. There's not going to be much more you could do the program. It'll be like, here's a bunch of new plugins to make different sounds automatically. That's where we're kind of
Yeah,
now.
I know exactly what that look. I can think about that in the systems engineering sense too. Like, yes, there's so much integration between the plugins, like you say, that just like it's just like one little thing, you let off one thing, and then it like reverberates all throughout the system because it's so integrated through the plugins that it's just like boom, boom, a bunch of switches turn off
There's
or
AI.
on.
There's AI. I've seen a few plugins. It doesn't really, not for EDM, because it's mixing and EDM is different, but like in rock and metal, there's some plugins where you literally put it on every track you have and click what type of instrument it is, and then press go, and it'll level out your track and make it a flat mix, which is ideal at first. So it's just going to get closer and closer to it doing it for you, you know?
Yeah. And there's going to be less and less production by the human.
More programming. Well, and that's funny you say that because there's this whole thing in music production called humanization, where literally you're trying to make it seem more human because it's so robotic when you just click right on the bar. You know, you have to like nudge things off a little bit to sound unique. And
Wow. That's a term, humanization.
yeah,
I can understand that. Like just like do something to attract, throw it off a bit, and then it has its own unique sound compared to this generic.
like like a hi-hat. You know, it's like if it's going the same speed the whole time, it doesn't sound like a human played it because a human doesn't have perfect timing. So
No.
just a couple of them, you know, you nudge them just enough off that it doesn't sound perfect, but still close enough that your mind thinks it's on time.
Got it. So
It's
that
like
you don't have what?
it's super duper like micro, you know, tuning of things. I don't know if everyone does that, but
Did you do that with your last track?
with night vision, less, but with my new tracks, a lot more. I don't know.
Really?
I'm trying to make I don't know, not a new sound, but I'm going a different direction with my music that's like still electronic and heavy, but has like this beauty to it that's not what I've heard anywhere else before. I hope.
Nice. That's a good feeling to have.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't heard it, I know you listen to a lot of music in high school, and I saw you at Lightning in a Bottle a few years ago too. We hadn't talked for probably in 7 years at that point,
I thought you were
but
Mirage.
you were. It was the middle of the day.
Was it really
Do
you
you?
though? You were there? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, it was a good time.
Yeah. No, I was
But
so surprised. I was like, what? Karush? At Lightning in a
I
Bottle? I was expecting this.
know, I know. We should have. What do you remember that festival? Do you have a highlight for that festival? Do you go to Lightning in the Bottle often?
I've been twice. Um, was that the year Zoo played?
That was the year um, Rufus played. I don't think Zoo played.
Mm. I remember less of that year.
Less of that year.
Yeah, it was a good time, but I was actually there by myself, and I had met up with like mutual friends. Like my friend's cousin was there, and I camped with him, and it was like all new people. So I don't know. It was my first big camping festival too, so I was a little freaked out the whole time, and you know,
Nice.
I tripped myself out a couple times, and I was like, I don't know if I could trust these guys that I'm camping with. Like,
Yeah, I understand that. Wow, you didn't have any friend there, like direct friend.
not in my campsite. Like
But
like honestly, other than you, like you would have technically been a very close friend out of everyone else there too. Um, I had like one other friend, and I just remember going to his campsite, telling him like, yeah, dude, like I don't know if I could trust anyone. I'm just gonna like hang over here with you. Yeah, you know, it was a mental festival.
yes, I know what you mean. Mental. Well, as long as you've got yourself in a comfortable state, that's really what matters. But
Yeah,
what?
definitely, yeah. No, it's a different time now. So that was years ago.
No. Yes, that was like 4 years ago. I think that was 2017.
Yes, that was a rough year for me. Mm.
2017.
Yeah, I think that was the year I kind of pardon my French, but I kind of hoarded out because I was sad about my girlfriend, and I had a good time. I partied,
You partied.
a lot of festivals, just a lot of music. So it
A lot
was
of festivals. A lot
yeah,
of music.
yeah,
A lot of partying.
yep. I made it out alive, and then found a wife, and now I'm a changed man.
That's nice that you say that. And you met your wife 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, 3 years ago, a couple months ago. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty crazy. It's good though. How has that been? Post marriage versus pre marriage.
Well, I mean, as expected, you know, pre-marriage is always the most exciting part, and you know, now Now things are good. We're just like a team, and I don't know. Everything's a lot more slow and settled compared to before. Not as like, oh, let's go do something all the time. Let's like, it's more like, oh, we gotta like bottle feed the cat and vacuum the house and do all these normal things that aren't as fun and interesting. But it's been good, living it up. Got a house. I don't know if I told you, but
Oh, you got a house?
yep, yep.
That's exciting. In Orange
San,
County,
San Juan, yeah,
San Juan? Nice. Congratulations.
yeah, yeah.
That's I'm sorry I couldn't go to your house actually at the end of the night. Scott disappeared. Did
That's
he come to your place eventually?
well. The funny thing is, I'm glad you didn't because I was passed out when he got here, and
Oh,
he
really?
got up and talked to Catherine for like 4 hours until like 4 a.m. and then left.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, wow. At least she was there and I mean,
He needed to
wow.
before he drove for a while.
Yes. Yes, he did. That's good that he stayed.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're invited anytime to come over, by the way.
Yes, we'll do that one day. I'll come over, we can hang out. I
Yeah.
didn't know you have a cat. How's that?
I have two cats, and just maybe an hour ago, we picked up four foster kittens, like little tiny babies that we're just fostering for like 5 weeks.
Really? Have you done that before?
Not like for a foster company or anything, but my grandma was like a cat lady growing up, and I lived with her a lot, so I witnessed it. You know.
Witnessed it, but now you have it. I mean, 5 weeks isn't too bad, and they're all kittens. That's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's cute and easy, and then like the hardest part's gonna be saying goodbye. You know.
Yes. Are you going to keep one, or can you not?
You can. And actually, if you know anyone interested, we can actually foster them to other families first before they like go on the market or go to the shelter to be adopted. So we get first pick of who adopts them technically. Um, and yeah, no, 5 weeks will be fine. Not a big
Oh,
deal.
wow. That is. I'll make sure to keep an ear out for anyone who wants kitten.
Next
I have
month,
a dog. I actually wouldn't mind a kitten,
I'll make sure to.
but
I'll name it Karush if you want.
that would be Karush the cat.
Yep,
Oh
Karush
man,
with a C.
Karush with a C.
Yeah,
Sarush.
yeah,
Yeah, you'll have to do it. All right, let me know. 1 month. We'll keep that. I'll keep that in the back of my mind.
yeah. November 5th, as of now.
November? You mean October?
Oh, crap, you're right. October.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. How has this last year and a half been for you?
I can't believe it's over already. I mean, the beginning, COVID started, and well, okay, year and a half was, let's say, what, February? I bought this house. So I bought this like
Oh,
right,
really?
like
Nice timing.
perfect
That's
time.
great timing.
Yeah. And COVID came, and I was like, oh, dope. Well, I guess I'm just gonna stay at my house and work on music all the time, like what I really should have been doing before, and not going to do anything else. So
Yes.
it gave me a good excuse to stay in and work on like my craft. Um, work
What
went.
do you mean? What were you gonna say?
Uh,
Work went what?
I mean, work went remote. Luckily for me, it's a computer job, so you can work from anywhere, and it's not a big deal. We're still
Yes. Nice. Do you think that that'll change?
I mean, like I have the key to the office. I'll go in there once in a while, but I don't think anyone's pushing to go back.
No. I don't think computer people are pushing to go back at all.
I like the office because I could focus on work there, and I wasn't distracted. Like if I'm at home, I got cats, a wife, my other computer with my Ableton open on it at all times. So it's you know,
There's a lot of distractions.
yeah,
How far is your work from your place?
15 minutes, 10 minutes maybe.
N- Not far.
Cabot, no so.
Cabot and Osa. Oh, that's close. That's not far at all.
No, yeah, it's like right down the street.
Wow. And what do you do? Are you a computer guy?
Not even my bosses know what title to give me.
Really? That's
But
good.
my actual official title is Client Solutions Engineer because, like, I'm basically the guy who'll get on the phone with the client, listen to their problem, figure out the solution, and kind of basically figure everything out. Um, and yeah, I've been doing it the longest. I've been there 4 years now,
Wow.
and I do a little bit of development programming too, like maintenance kind of stuff.
What language?
Cold Fusion,
Oh, I've never heard of that.
it's old.
What?
It's Adobe.
Oh, Adobe?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Did you ever do that before when you were younger?
No, I mean when I was younger, I did HTML, CSS, just like website stuff because computer class. Um, and I've made my own Star Wars website once when I was like a little kid because I liked Star Wars and I was like, oh look, I put all these pictures
Nice.
on the page with code.
Did were you in Colwell's class?
Yes.
What class did you like that class? I barely was a computer programmer then. I just kind of did it.
Well, I'm trying to think here. Wait. This was middle school. Caldwell
Yeah, he was.
years. Um, was it for? I don't know if it was computer science. I think it was video production I did with him.
Right. It might have been. Okay.
Yeah,
But he
but
was the computer science guy. I mean, his room was all computers.
that was my favorite room in the school.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
And then he came to Aliso after that.
yeah. I. It's funny. I didn't really take any like computer classes. I never felt like I needed them. Like I was
Yes, I
into like
understand.
media, video and audio production stuff.
Because I mean, most things for computer, like the internet's going to be a better teacher. I mean, you had your dad too.
Right. That's the key is if you have a mentor that could literally answer any question you have at any time, there's no point. I don't,
No,
I don't think school is needed for most trades. And if you have a true mentor, it's really just a credential, you know?
yeah, it is, and that's something I actually wanted to bring up. Do you have a college degree?
No.
And you have a solid engineering job too, right?
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I started as just customer service though.
that's true. I mean, so they didn't give you the initial position probably because you lacked the credentials, I would guess.
I wasn't even trying for it. I just needed a job at that time. And
Wow.
I just, I get bored with my position if you don't give me anything new. So I start asking
Yes.
for new stuff to do. And
Nice.
I'll be like looking at code. I'm like, all we got to do is change this. Can you just let me do this?
That's huge skill. That's huge skill. That's a lot of value. And like you said, like school is nothing more than a credential, but then your father was able to teach you so many valuable skills as you grew up that like eventually when you got into a position where you could prove yourself, there was no need for that credential because you already had all the time and hours spent through like just your childhood.
Yeah, no, it really growing up with my dad is like a blessing for me because I don't know anyone that had a techie kind of dad really like. I mean, there's like people that say they like used a computer, but it's not like they were like knew the insides and knew programming or anything like that of the people I had.
Yes.
So
And it's not like they had a mentor like you. Like I think Rustin, do you remember Rustin Monothnian? He
mhm.
also created a app at like 16 too, which I thought was pretty impressive. But seemed like he did that on his own accord. But for you to have like, I don't know, you always seemed like this, like a computer guy from the start. And then I remember your dad too was also like pretty involved with you and like was a big part of your life as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, we use a computer more than we cook.
Really? Is that you and your dad, you mean? Or I
Yeah.
think everyone does. Like, that's not just you and your dad. It's like
It sounded
everyone except
funnier
for
in
cooks.
my head.
What?
It sounded funnier in my head, and it's really because my wife is the opposite. Like she cooks more than she does computer. But
Oh, nice. So that's a good balance between you two.
yin and yang. Yeah.
Yin and yang. Yes. Oh, man. The computer, dude. It's a weird, weird thing.
It's gonna get weirder. with AI, the more AI coming around, I that website, this person does not exist. Just it trips me out every time I go to it.
What website?
It's called thispersondoesnotexist.com.
And
And
what is it?
it's just a great example of how AI, like neural nets, can be used. And this is like, oh, every time you go to the page, it shows you a picture of a photorealistic person that's not real.
Oh, wow. And they just developed that photo out of,
Yeah, they use some neural net, something, the GAN network, generative adversarial network. I haven't looked too much into the details of how to do it, but after learning that you can, I just see the potential of what you can do because all the AI needs to make something for you is enough information to base it off of.
yeah, it can make anything. It can fraudulate a bunch of evidence or whatever. It's
I wasn't thinking that bad. I was thinking good stuff. I don't know where you were going.
really, you're thinking good stuff?
Honestly, mine's silly. I have my own website, spooningmusic.com, and I want it to be more than just music. I want it to be like a fun place to go. Like the brand is like interactive itself. So, I want to have a link on there. It's like there is no spoon, and every time you click it, you get your own spoon generated kind of thing. And just little. It's totally like going to be an ADD website. You know,
Yeah,
just lots of things to click that are fun and interesting.
that's good. And then you think that that would help something like a neural network, some tool?
Oh, I mean, I think that's just one interesting thing I've learned that I could apply on my website to be fun for someone else. That's how
Yeah,
I see it. And your website's your portfolio. That's really what it is. So
yes, it is. What was that?
you're just showing what you've learned. That's what it is.
Yes, and it's so easy to create. How did you create your website?
Oh man, I hate admitting it, but I used Wix for my website. It was
Nice. I mean, so easy.
it's I mean, I I saw my wife make a website for her business and I was like, okay, this is like ridiculously easy. Like sure you can start with a template and tweak it and stuff, and it makes more sense if I wanted more interactiveness right now, but I just need a place for my website, for my logo, for my shop, and Wix makes it easy. You c- you could plug into a drop shipper. So I have like clothing you can buy and I've never even seen an article of it yet. But drop shipping makes it all possible.
What's drop shipping?
Drop shipping at a high level is just like someone else is the guy who's distributing it, and you're just taking orders and sending it to them, and then they're shipping it for you. Um,
Wow. So you have merchandise you can sell that you sell?
yeah, you could buy a hoodie. You can go in there and buy a hoodie, and it has like a spoon logo on it, and you know it's all.
That's awesome.
You don't have to stock any of it. Is the beautiful part. They print it on order. So
That's awesome. And that's so much easier for you.
right, it's like we were saying earlier. That's like taking the one person that I needed out of the picture. Now I have that part filled.
Yes, I think that's huge. Contracting out as much work as possible, like even the social media posts and like all of the stuff that isn't directly creating content or creating work that's going to be like help you. I wish that we could. I mean, I don't think it's all affordable, but like I use Google as my creator of my website, and it's so much easier. Like we could create a website, we could write it in HTML and do all that, but that's crazy the amount of work that is.
Yeah, it's a waste of time unless you have a particular idea, like an actual app or something.
Yes, it's yes, and then you need a team to create it because like realistically, you're not going to create a full
Uh,
web stack. What
I mean,
could you do it
re-
or
realistically, yes, but would I be willing to invest the time to do it? Probably
yes?
not at this moment. Yeah.
No, I think like have you heard like there's going to be different levels of programmers and they're going to be like ones that are like at the bottom, which are kind of like they do the worst type of coding possible, like just the most mundane, like basic stuff, like creating a website versus like a higher level, which is like solving debugging or solving problems or creating algorithms for software. Like that's a higher level. But like, yes, like I don't want what?
Here. I think that's already here, but I don't know if they have an official title for you yet, you know? But like you got outsourced programmers and then you have like someone that like has been here for years and is experienced, you know, and they could both build you a website and this one might have some spelling errors and may not be exactly what you want. And then this guy will do it exactly how you need it, you know?
Yes. And so it's already here, like the like different quality of engineer, of software coder.
Oh, yeah.
Do you see any big changes outside of AI that in the next like 5 to 10 years? Or is there anything that excites you?
Well, I mean, besides music, my wife, um, the Cybertruck excites me.
The Tesla Cybertruck?
Oh, I can't wait. I'm like I've been just holding on to my Toyota Camry, trying not to let go because I want to hold out and save all my equity for the Cybertruck instead of throwing it away into like some other car, you know?
Yes, I do know. How much is it going to cost?
I think the tri-motor was like 59 or 60, I want to
That's
say.
not that bad.
But yeah, and that's the highest end one they had. And yeah,
Oh, that's
my
the highest end one? Do they have a
yeah,
lower end one?
yeah, it goes the lowest end is 39.
That's a great price for an electric truck.
I mean,
And
there's definite reasons though you'd want the other, like the cheap one's like 250 miles probably versus the
oh
expensive
no.
500, you know.
Oh, that's huge. I need five. That's the thing. Like with it charged 500 versus 250, that's a whole nother ball game. Especially for a truck, because like I don't know what you would want to do, but like I want to go off roading. I want to go like to the desert with that thing. Like they need to put some solar panels on that roof too, so it charges while it's
Oh,
sitting.
dude, that'll be so nice. I mean, like I plan to tow stuff behind it because it's the high end one can tow like 14,000 pounds, and
Wow.
you know, you get an RV, you take that out and go camping somewhere. You got the Cybertruck to go anywhere, and it's. I feel like with 500 miles, you can go anywhere you need to from where we live. You know, Southern California, 500 miles away is a perfect camping distance.
Yes, it is. It is. And like I mean, that's 500 is not that bad. I think the other ones were like 330, which is like 170 miles is a huge difference. Like, because in one day, like I don't want to drive more than 500 miles. I can drive more than 300 miles in one day. And sometimes I want to, like, if I want to go from here to Sacramento or something.
Right.
What?
I said Mammoth. That's like 300, 400.
Exactly. Exactly. And with like, the old models, it was always you're going to need to stop at least one time,
Oh no.
and that charge is going to be like 30 to 45 minutes. I mean, like now, but that's like not that easy. But now with 500 miles and like there's going to be so many more charging stations in the next 5 to 10 years, like
Oh yeah.
especially in this state.
Well, I mean, my wife has an EV right now. It only has 250 miles on the tank, or whatever you call it, not a tank, battery. Um,
Yeah,
and literally, there's charging stations like 15 minutes away, every 15 minutes from each other. I feel like in this area, it's crazy.
nice.
Yeah.
That's what EV.
It's a Volkswagen ID4.
Oh wow. Okay, I think I know which one that is.
It's probably the best. Like I mean, Teslas are nice, but I've heard they have their share of problems, and the Volkswagen ID4 is really really nice if you're looking for EV cheaper. Like I think it was 39 or 49,000, and you get 3 years of free charging.
How do you get the free charging?
It was an incentive that they were doing. I don't know if they're still doing it, but Like we got it 3 or 4 months ago, and every like Electrify America, that brand of charging station, we can go to and charge for free for the next 2.5, 3 years.
Wow. Okay. So got it. The electrified with a certain brand.
Yep.
Wow. That's cool.
We've driven 5,000 miles with no gas charge, no money.
That's incredible. And I mean, if you get a car too, then you can get solar panels and a charger in your house.
I love the solar panel idea. Yeah, we got to upgrade the house. That's right now we're not in a place where I think I can get one of those nice chargers installed because it's like
I
a
think
detached garage.
you need a detached garage.
No, I have one that, and I mean that detached garage's power I think is on like the same circuit as all the units right here above it because there's like a townhome above our garages, and I have a feeling I don't think I can put the fast charger in there like without.
Got it. Yes. You're in a townhome.
Yeah, it's like a townhome. I think that's what they call it. Yeah.
That yeah, you got a lot more regulations than I live in a condo and there's a lot more regulation. Like I can put solar panels on my roof. You might not be able to put solar panels anywhere,
Oh yeah, the color
but
of the outside needs to be the same, like all the houses, because you got the HOA and like
yeah,
your garden has to
it's
be a certain way.
yes. And you're I need to have the exact gate door, like that door that's outside your front door needs to be the exact type that matches everyone else's.
I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it too. So we're not the masters of our domains yet, but
Not yet. Yeah.
we will be soon.
Next 5 years, 100%.
100%, dude.
More than enough time.
Yes, yes, more than enough time. Oh man, did you
Especially,
watch sports? What
I was gonna say, especially with crypto right now, we're all gonna be rich.
are you invested in crypto?
Yeah. I'm probably less invested than most people would think I am because I'm not. I don't know. I've always been skeptical on investing, and I just put little bits in at a time.
That's
And
smart.
but I don't know. Last month has been like 80% gain, like crazy. Because a month ago it was super down and
Yeah,
diagonal.
it really shot up again. It was like I know it shot down like in spring. It fell really hard, and then it shot back up to almost where it was before spring recently, didn't it?
I think it's a little bit. It's close, if not higher. Like it's. I think Ethereum might have hit its high again recently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. And is Ethereum your number one, or do you have?
I'm pretty equal in what I invested in initially. Like I had some Ethereum, I got Rally, I got Cardano, um, and I got a couple of shit coins. I'm
Is
still
that
holding
the name?
Moon. Have you heard of that?
Oh no.
It's
What
like
is that?
it was one of those cryptos that came around after the Doge craze, and this crypto came around that was like the cost of one of them, one of the tokens is like 0.0000000, like some super crazy tiny number to where you buy $100 worth and you have like a billion tokens or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it was one of those things like, oh, it's so cheap. The chances of us, like, if that made it to 1 penny one day, we'd be rich, you know? So everybody bought a bunch and it took like a fat decline and hasn't been able to come back since, but I'm still holding.
Still holding?
Yeah,
I mean, $100
yeah, $100.
isn't much.
Yeah, it could go away into nothingness. I was willing to lose it. That's how I invest, you know?
Yeah. That's how we should invest. Not especially in this high volatility crypto market.
And
I
stock.
mean, what?
And the
And
stock.
stock.
All
Yeah,
the
stocks
markets right
too.
now. Everything is a meme.
What makes you say that?
I mean, you go on your Robinhood or TD Ameritrade or whatever, and you're like, oh, what's the top market movers today? And every day there's one that went up 40, 50%. And I'm like, how does this happen every day?
Really?
Yeah,
Like,
it's nuts
I,
how much volatility there is in like random companies. All of a sudden, Newegg goes up to $50. You know, the memers that come in and just take them by storm.
The memers?
Yeah, that's kind of my default thought on what's happening when something goes that crazy and explodes. Most of the time, it's like Wall Street bets, and they're buying frenzies. Somebody posted some articles that had some good info on why this company's going to be great and why the shorts are so high. That stuff.
Yes. Wow. And then everyone goes in and then buys.
I'm pretty sure there's a group of them that know what each other's buying and just go make their rounds on the same like 10 or 20 stocks, and they just keep going around in circles because you see the same ones do this little bump every couple months or whatever.
And what's an example of one that's super volatile?
Well, I mean, Rocket Mortgage less lately, but I'm expecting it to have a meme soon. Rocket
What?
Mortgage, I bought an option on Rocket Mortgage once for $7, and it turned into $1,000 because the next day it memed. It was like the nuttiest play I've ever had.
That sounds so good.
Why didn't I buy 10? That's my problem. Like $70, I could have thrown that away. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Damn, instead of those shit coins that you added them.
I know that was way less worthy of an investment.
I know. Well, when something's like a 0.10 zeros for a coin and 0.10 zeros and then a 1 for a coin, that's pretty intriguing.
Yeah. No, the coins are the future, in my opinion. I plan to make a coin, at least one, before I die.
One coin on the Ethereum network or off of it?
I don't know what blockchain it'll be on, if it's Ethereum or what's that other one? I like Binance. Binance's token, their chain is pretty easy to create one for. I was already doing some research, and
Binance? I haven't heard of them.
Binance is an exchange and their own blockchain as well.
What's the reason you'd go with them instead of Ethereum?
It just looked like it was the simplest to create a token. I haven't figured out the minor details of how to make my token work the way I want it to, and I can't even tell you about what the token does yet because I don't want to steal the idea.
Okay.
But maybe 6 months, a year down the road, we revisit that in a new podcast.
That would be great. Yeah, and then we can talk once that coin is released. So you're gonna have a special feature to it that's gonna make it like the spooning coin.
Well, there's going to be, like, besides just the obvious appeal of tokens, people want to make money. There's going to be an alternative appeal to it, like another reason you'd buy it, other than the fact that you plan to invest and save money.
Okay, got it. Because that's really what crypto is all about. It's like, which coin do you believe in the most?
To be honest, I feel like they all move up or down, kind of like, yeah, some move a little bit opposite, but for the most part, their general trend is kind of the same. It's almost like they're all connected. I don't
Yeah,
know exactly, but I feel like you invest in any of them and it's going to go up at this point, eventually.
yes. I understand what you mean. And yeah, it's like with all markets, like we know when they say like if you want something, put them all together, and then you'd think that one would go out and then one would be super popular, but then both restaurants
Yeah.
get more popular.
It's like the dollar, right? You got a dollar in the US, a dollar in Chinese yuan. Like, they're two different pieces of currency that somebody said had value one time. And that's all crypto is. To me, it's literally the same thing except a digital version.
Yes, it is exactly just like gold. It's like just because crypto's here doesn't mean gold is less valuable. I
Who said
mean, it
gold
does
was
to
valuable
some.
anyway?
What?
Who says gold was valuable anyway? Who told us that?
Dude, I think it was like exactly.
Because heavy and shiny, we're gonna put that at $100. Oh, what's a dollar?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna make it this value.
Yes, exactly. And that's going to translate over to crypto. I mean, it's going to be tough because someone's going to want to centralize that.
Oh, well, I mean, they're already controlling it more. Like the more the US is getting into this, they're actually getting into controlling crypto in the way where they can tax the crap out of it, which is kind of like, I get it, right? Because it's kind of like a stock. You make money, pay capital gains. But the whole idea behind crypto is the anonymous blockchain. Like, you don't know whose tokens what or whatever, right? So it's funny that even though that's the concept of crypto, it's totally not going to happen because the government wants their piece.
Yes. I mean, I don't think it could happen on a black market sense, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think it could ever it could maybe like some form of digital currency. Like, what's that word? What's that acronym called? It's got a DC in it. I forgot, but it's like a digital currency. It's like a government-induced digital currency.
Oh, USDC.
US, is that what it's called? I know China has one too.
You're talking about like Tether, like it equals $1? It's a
Not
stable.
really. Those are stable coins, but like it's a digital currency in the sense that it's like arbitrated and governed by a government. Like China has their own digital currency, and the U.S. is developing one. I don't know if it's a stable coin, but
well, all that is just that's what you're just saying, that the government is going to have their own token that's based on their value of whatever, because all the tokens are based. They have to be based on something if you're going to make one, right? Like the value of the dollar, the value of gold, whatever it may be. Your token's got to be backed by something.
got it. Okay.
It could be dollar, like you can put your own money in a bank. But most cryptos, the ones worth investing in, have something that back them, that's somehow insuring it because it's backed by money.
Like the stable coins are backed by dollars.
Well, like a stable coin, you can't make money or lose money, I don't think, other than an interest, because it's equal to $1, and it's like
Okay.
it's like this always equals $1. So you can always trade your Bitcoin into this USDC, and you can just leave it there, and you won't make or lose money unless you're getting interest, because it's equal to $1 always.
Okay. Versus like the other coins, what's the difference in their performance?
Well, I mean, they can move. You go look at USDC and it's always equal to $1. There are these weird blips where it goes to 90.996 or something, and I don't understand how that happens exactly. But other coins are like stocks, and it's like, if they're doing good, they're doing bad, more buying, more selling. I don't know what really backs a lot of these tokens, though. That's the scary part.
That's what I think. It's like belief, isn't it? Like belief that this is going to be a good crypto, that its blockchain is going to keep,
It's
everything secure.
Right?
What?
Isn't that the same as a company you believe in, except that it hopefully has a purpose? Because some tokens do have purpose.
Like which ones?
Well, like, okay, which one has a official purpose? I don't know if any of them do yet. But you can buy stuff with certain cryptos. You can buy Dallas Mavericks gear with Doge. Elon Musk, I think, will let you buy a Tesla with Doge.
Oh wow.
And like, there's incentives to use crypto to pay for things. And I have a crypto rewards card where every time I spend my credit card, it pays Bitcoin returns. And yeah,
what's the advantage of that?
Of what, Bitcoin returns?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't 100% know if it's really better than normal rewards, but in theory, like the pro of it is the same as the con, is the fact that Bitcoin's price is moving behind the scenes. So yeah, you just got $30 back in cash back rewards, but next month that could be worth 60 because Bitcoin doubled. And if you had enough rewards, you could make a big chunk. But it could go the other way. So it's a pro and a con.
If you stay invested, it probably will be a pro.
Yeah, I don't plan on getting rid of mine. I just plan on buying more when it drops every time for a while.
Yeah, that's good. Smart way of investing.
Oh yeah.
To invest when it drops.
I actually use that in my new strategy for stock. It's I'll buy $1 of something I'm interested in, and I'll watch it. And as soon as it's down like 5%, I know it's like dipped far enough from where I was almost about to buy in that I'll start buying. And at any time I'm 5%, 10% down, just add a little more of the pot to keep myself within that 5% loss. And
Yeah,
that way, as when it comes back, it's just incrementally, beneficial because you just bought so much more over that period of time for less.
yeah, and it's going to be, and it's much less risky than a lot of other moves if you're well, if you've researched that and you know it's good quality.
Right.
I think, like you said before, what's the difference between like investing in a company and a crypto? I think one thing is for the crypto, we're relying a lot on the algorithm, whereas a company, you're relying a lot on the infrastructure, the people, the product that they're selling. And so it's a little different.
But are you? Because I mean, how much are stocks driven by those metrics, or is it most? And I'm not the most knowledgeable about behind the scenes of how stocks are calculated, but to me, I feel it's primarily buying and selling. Like, if there's a lot of people buying it, that thing's going up. If there's a lot of people selling it, it's going down. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's not just because I made $1 million on earnings. If everybody's selling my shit's going to the floor.
That's true. And that is, I think, how stocks do get purchased and sold in mass. But that's not, that's a very bad way of investing for most people, is to like, and you don't seem like you invest like that just by what you said. You sell or you buy when things go down. So it's like, you're right in the sense that the market is very like emotional and it's easy to sway one way or the other. Like Tesla's books for years, for like 2 or 3 or 4 years, have been awful. Like their cash books are like really bad. Yet they got more money and more money and more money. And I think it's because of the product at the end of the day and the people, the product and the people.
Right.
It's Elon Musk and it's Tesla and it's SpaceX. And that's the reason that like SpaceX helped Tesla because it's all under Elon Musk. And like his tweets too, like those added it too, and all that, like it like got him more crowdfunding, more crowdsourcing. And now like it doesn't even matter if his books are bad because he has so much support that it's like, boom, you have as much money as you want. Go do what you need to do.
Oh yeah.
Go get us some trucks.
Oh, Cybertruck, it's coming, dude. I can't wait. It still got me excited.
Dude, I might have to buy one too. I mean, I don't know. Very excited.
I wouldn't be mad that you copied me. Don't worry.
What color are you gonna get? I don't know if I'll get the. Oh, I actually have to get the high class. It's 500
It's only
miles.
one color, bro. I'm pretty sure it's only like we don't know the final design, but I'm pretty sure it's only silver because it's a stainless steel body.
Really? Is stainless steel a new? Is that not normal for cars?
It's heavy and it's maybe it's not stainless steel, but it's based on the DeLorean. You know the DeLorean, the old Back to the Future.
The one. Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of that guy, the actor for that, the crazy actor, he's going to be the new Rick in Rick and Morty.
What do you mean the new Rick?
Like they're having a live action Rick and Morty, and he's going to be playing Rick.
Is it crazy? That's crazy to me that guy's even still alive because he was so old and Back to the Future looking.
I know he was. I feel like I feel like he must have like dyed his hair or something because I saw the trailer today for Rick and Morty, and he looked just like he aged maybe 5 years, and it's been like 30 years.
I gotta look him up, Doc. Yeah.
Yeah, do Rick and Morty trailer, and you'll see it. Do you like Rick and Morty?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's slight decline over time, just like, but it's hard to keep some ideas like that, like always better than the next because they're
Yes,
really deep.
it got super deep, and like when you first get into it, it's like, wow, this is incredibly well made and well thought out. It's hard to do that for like 5 seasons.
Oh yeah, the newer season, it's more like randomy, like becomes more like a Family Guy kind of thing, where every episode I'm expecting to be funny, but I maybe doesn't have necessarily a plot line.
Yes, that's a very good way to put it. Family Guy at some points is just nothing. It was just like, just no, like you said, no plot line at all.
Yeah, yeah.
I do want to see the end of Rick and Morty though. Like, I want to see what happens with that evil Morty. If
Oh, I haven't seen the newest. I don't think.
you haven't seen, you don't know about the evil Morty?
Well, I mean, I've seen Morty's from Parallel Dimensions. Uh,
Yes,
there's one evil one. Maybe I gotta rewatch it. How
there's
new?
one evil one. This is, I feel like they had one in like season 3 and then he came back in season 4
So how do you know he's coming back in the final season or the final episodes?
because he's a recurring character. I don't know if he's coming back, but he's a recurring character. So I've seen him in multiple episodes. So it's like if he's recurring, he's going to come back eventually.
Maybe that's what they want you to think.
Maybe that's what they want us to think. Maybe that's what they want me to think. And then
We'll keep Karush watching if we never put him back in because he'll want him to come back.
that's exactly what they're doing, dude. They're just keeping that cliffhanger there for like another 5 seasons just for, oh man, that's terrible.
The limited release trend, you know.
Limited release? What do you mean?
It's all like the same concept. That's what I call it. Where, oh, there's only 100 licenses available. Get yours now. Automatically makes you want more, even though it's a software and I could give you another license. But
Yeah,
because the site says this is limited supply, you're more intrigued to buy it now because you're gonna miss out FOMO.
like if, yes, like that evil Morty, it only comes once a season, so I'm going to watch the whole season just to get a little bit of that Morty and find out what happens. And I'll watch 3 more seasons just to find out
And
what happens.
be there. They'll be waiting. They're like, maybe next time.
And maybe next time. In the meanwhile, they're going to have 7 plotless episodes with one continuing plot.
Genius.
Genius. It really gets people going and gets people into it. You were a Tom Brady fan, weren't you?
I mean, you say it like I only like Tom Brady. I was a Patriot fan.
You were a Patriots fan. I'm sorry, because some people have transitioned from me.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't.
You
I
were
was
just
a Charger. Yeah, I actually like Tom Brady now a lot more than I did back then. Because
why is that?
I just give him a lot of respect for going to Tampa Bay and winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it makes me feel like it's all rigged. It's all like Hollywood, man.
It does. I mean, did you see some of those plays last year? Like,
I've fallen out so hard. Like honestly, ever since music kind of took over my life, sports is
nice.
less of my life. And, I don't feel like I have the time to go on a Sunday and watch football like I used to because that's one of my free days to work on music because I'm not working my normal job.
Yes, I completely understand. And I kind of lost my passion for football too.
Plus the rules,
But
rule changes. Oh, boo! Let's hit
boo, I know.
and I mean, I know
Yeah,
it's unsafe and causes lots of injuries, but that was part of the fun.
that was part of the fun. I mean, that's really part of the fun.
We pay them lots of money because of this possibility, right? Otherwise, don't pay them so much if they're just going to play patty cake.
that's oh man. It's still not patty cake, but it's definitely nothing like it used to be.
Oh yeah.
But do you know the Chargers have like one of the best young quarterbacks in the league?
I haven't I heard Patriots have a new up and comer because they got rid of Cam Newton, right?
They got can't yeah, and so they do have a young guy from
Must
Alabama.
must be good if you're gonna just can Cam, no problem.
Cam's been pretty bad, and Cam wasn't vaccinated.
Is that why they got rid of him? Because he wouldn't get vaccinated?
That's just speculations. No one's saying that.
Okay. Oh man, yeah, that would make me mad. I wouldn't be a Patriot fan if they did that.
Well, Urban Meyer, the Jacksonville Jaguars coach, literally said vaccination status played a part in it because, like, if someone tests positive for COVID, they can't play.
I get it, but you can still test positive with a vaccination. So
That's true.
the reason they want you to have a vaccination is so that they don't have to test you. And they're like, well, he's got his vaccine card. We're fine.
I think they still test vaccinated guys.
Well, then, like I said, I just think that it's not it's not what the old school vaccines are. Like what you think of when you have a vaccine to where you're going to be immune permanently to this thing or anything. So I hate that they're trying to require it. That's all.
What do you mean it's not going to be a permanent thing?
Well, you're going to have to get your Windows update soon. If you get your vaccine, Bill Gates has got you on the second update. Service Pack 3 is coming after that.
Yes, it is. For some people, it already came. Some people got their boosters already.
I mean, I get it. You just want to move on with life. But to me, I am like the type of person that wants to have less extra in my body if I can help it. And I don't know, I can be safe and not get COVID, I'm pretty sure. Mask up or whatever, stay inside, whatever works.
Whatever works. Just, yeah, hopefully we can all keep safe and we all have, I think, it's like we're all masters of our own body. So we should be able to. I don't really want people telling me what to put in my body. So, but the U.S. military just mandated vaccines for all their enlisted. So that's not going to be the choice for the enlisted.
Yeah, no, it sucks. That's just one step. Like China's going to probably require it to visit when it opens up for me to actually go back. Probably going to be required. So
have you been there?
Not yet.
Wow. Has your wife been there recently?
Yeah, well, not super recently. It's been a while.
Not since COVID?
Oh no, she hasn't been back since she met me.
Wow. Oh wow.
Who knows? She may never come back here if she goes there. No, I'm just kidding.
What makes you say that?
Just because I'm an internal comedian and I have to say these things.
I'm glad you said that because that was funny. That was really funny. I think she'll come back.
I live to make you laugh, Karush.
Thank you. Thank you. That's something that I appreciate, most certainly. So, Troy, I think we're reaching the end of this podcast. Are there any last words that you'd like to tell the audience or that you have for everyone?
Well, I really thank you, first of all, for having me, and definitely want to come back at some point and check in, see how you're doing. And, maybe next time I'll be able to show you some of these secret sounds I've been working on and you can share them on the podcast.
Dude, that would be epic. Yes, let's get that going and we'll get another episode rolling.
Yes, part 2.
Part 2. Thanks for coming on, Troy.
Yeah, no worries.
See ya.
Adios.